Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 123. Yes, you heard right, 123 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. And in today's chapter, we're going to fix a chair. So if you want to see what that's all about, you know what to do. All you have to do is stay tuned. Well, here it is. This is the chair. I'm not sure about the age of it. I'm just guessing here. I would say probably 1920s or so. We have a piece of furniture from my father. He bought, or his parents bought a dresser with a mirror, 3 drawers, when he was a young tyke. And we still have that in our basement. We're going to hang on to that. But the styling looks very similar to this, and I would put that one in about the 1920s. So we're looking at about 100 years old, maybe. I never thought of it that way before. Now, this chair has been through a lot. There's extensive wear on it, and that's cool. That's patina. And it's just coming apart, and a couple of these stretchers here are broken. Now, how did I come across this chair? Well, I'm glad you asked. My wife spends too much time on Facebook Marketplace and or the community Facebook page, and there was a younger couple on there looking for a wood turner to make some parts for this chair. And I maybe shouldn't have volunteered my services, because I'm pretty sure they dropped this off in January, and it's now getting towards April. So, but they did say they were in no rush. Thank goodness. If they would have been in a rush, I wouldn't have taken it. But my shop is getting pretty full, so it's time to move a few things out. And this is a pretty easy one to get rid of. So basically, I need to replace 2 of these. I don't know if you can see it from there. There's a hole here and a hole here. So they go across kind of like that. These are not quite identical either. Like, this one's round. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite nice and round, fairly true. This one is not. It's round here, but then it's flat. I suspect, in the way it's worn, that this was probably the lower one, like that, and this would have been the higher one, I think. Now, I have to do a little bit of detective work here, too. First of all, the length of them, too, I'll have to decide which one goes where, but I'll figure that out. But I need to turn 2 of these. And then the other problem with this chair that I found really, really annoying is it's quite difficult to disassemble, because I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. So there's this joint here, and it's loose, but you can't pull it apart because somebody pounded a common nail through and into the joint to hold it. Now, maybe, I don't know, I think I would have knocked it apart and re-glued it, but maybe that wasn't an option for them at the time. So I'm not here to cast aspersions on how it was once repaired. My goal is to take it and put it back together the best I can. And yeah, the wear on this thing there's a lot of patina on this thing. So we're going to try to get it back together as solidly as I can. Now, the wood I chose for this, I'm not even sure what this is. It's definitely a really quick-growing wood, because the growth lines are really, really far apart. I don't know if I can show you that. But to me, it looked... Here, let's get this guy out. To me, it looks close... Oops, sorry, I should get that up where you can see it. The color looks somewhat close. So, and I'm not going to finish anything because I'm not sure what they want to do with this thing. Um, it's got a little bit of abrasion on it and stuff like that, but like I say, I suspect this chair is about 100 years old. So yeah, it's going to have some patina on it. Anyway, a little bit of an aside here. Those of you that have connections to the Hub City Turners and the Saskatchewan Woodworkers Guild, you may recognize those initials. I was amazed to see when I cleaned up all my lumber here in the last year that I had a few pieces of wood from Alf Wilson yet, which it's kind of cool. For those of you, just put this away here, that aren't familiar with Alf Wilson, it seems like all clubs or all guilds have a member like this, somebody that unfortunately Alf passed away a number of years ago, but I find this fun to be able to remember him as a person by turning the wood that he had. So anyway, that's the wood I chose. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to make myself a bit of a nipper to pull those nails out. But yeah, they're in all of these. And I'm not going to do too much to this chair because it's not mine to do. But I think I am going to re-glue these joints here. And the back, I'm not sure. It doesn't feel as bad. Maybe by the time it's all said and done, I'll end up re-gluing all of this and then gluing that back on top of it. So this chair I'm hoping to have probably hopefully done by the end of this week, and because I got a whole bunch of other things to do, but we're going to get this out of my shop before it gets wrecked or before I lose. In fact, I don't know even whose it is anymore, but I'm sure that will track on Facebook, not a problem. But anyway, so the next time you'll see me, I'll be at the lathe turning one of these into one of those. Very, very simple, straightforward turn. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. Well, it's the next day. I actually did film doing the first one yesterday, but I thought I may as well have the camera rolling while I did the second one, and maybe the best one will find its way into the video. Just putting this between centers. These small spindles with this big drive center, you have to watch the other one split. And I took a little different approach to putting this one in. I think that should be good. And yeah, I got to clean up a little bit here. Okay, the one I need to copy is right here. So this one is about 15 and 7/8. So I'm going to, excuse me, got a little bit of a froggy throat this morning. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make this round, and then we're going to do some layout. And hopefully I don't hit my tripod with with the banjo. Okay, that should do it. All right, let's have some fun. There we go. This wood is really soft. Got a very distinct smell as well. And a little bit of vibration. Well, not bad. That's not too bad. Ooh, got a go through this lathe one of these days again and clean everything up and lube everything up. It's all getting a little sticky. Try to take a little bit of the wax out of it. I really like using the skew for this kind of work. To me, it's just the right choice, but yeah, that's getting pretty sticky. Okay. And a little bit of left hand turning here, which is important to, I think, important to be able to do. Use your fingers as a steady rest. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this afternoon I have students coming in again, and I have one young lady who would like to turn the whole semester that we're out here. So I've been having her turn on this lathe, and I think she quite enjoys it. Yeah, the little lathes are really nice. Those little deltas and little jets are awesome lathes, but there's something about electronic variable speed that is really nice. So just going to put my marks there. Okay, and then the other thing I like to do is put a mark in the center, and this is just under 8 inches. There. Okay, this is still going to be just a little bit big, I think. Well, even that's a little big yet. This one's a little smaller than the other one. Yeah, I've got a little ways to go yet. I'm just going to make a little bit of a notch here so I don't lose my center. There. Let's see what we got here. That would do it. That's pretty good right there. Okay, and then we're going to reinforce that. There we go. Okay. I'm not turning as fast as I could be. I'm only going at, what, about 1400 RPM? Oh, 17. Okay. One thing I think that is definitely worth practicing is learning how to use your tools going both directions. So whether you call it left hand or right hand turning, There. I think it's worth it. Okay, I think that's my diameter. Yep, that's going to be good. A little bit of vibration. It's not really nice and smooth there yet. Yeah, and then so I didn't anticipate doing a lot of turning this spring, so I took my sharpening stuff all apart so that I could start working on my new bench back there. And now, turns out I'm going to need it, and I don't have it set up yet. So I think between the 8 lathes today, I'll be able to find something that's sharp so that Kylie can turn. But it's definitely not the way to go. So, okay, this one's a little different than the other one. It's only 2 inches till the change in. Okay, so, well, I think I'm going to start with the far end first. And I like to size tenons with a wrench. And this happens to be 1/2 inch, so. But you know what? Let's just double check that. The other one was, yeah, this one's just a bit over. Okay, we'll leave it a little big. I don't think it's 9/16 though, so. And I could set my caliper to it as well. You gotta watch out. When you start to rub the live center, that's getting a little closer than it should be, but that's a little bit straight taper. I'm not getting it nice and rounded. There we go. That's a wee bit better. Okay, let's see what we have here. I think one of the important things when you're doing something like this is just take your time. You're in no rush here. Well, okay, I kind of am, because I've got a busy morning. As I said, I think in the previous video, the boss isn't doing so good right now. A lot of pain, so we're always dealing with that. But in the morning, she's getting some rest, much needed. And this afternoon, we head into Saskatoon for tests. So after we've taught class. Now, I could put the caliper on with the lathe turning, but I don't like to do that. I think the fact that I've worked with students for so long, and you want to have the lathe off when they're measuring. I just don't like doing that. That's probably the right size right there. That doesn't quite go on. And I lost my other mark again. So let's see where that would be. Okay, that would be right about there. And we're going to take that down just a little bit more. And I think that's going to be it. That's lots. Okay. I think that's good. And just going to put a little notch there. Okay, I think that half is done. The tenon isn't quite the perfect length, but I think when I cut it off, it's going to be good. It just looks a little weird now. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but okay, now it's over to the other side. And I've just tried to be really gentle when I turn this, and I think that's the key to turning in general. You want to avoid surprises when you're turning. Speed is always a discussion that comes up, and yes, I'm well aware that if you can turn at a higher speed, um, that there we go. You know, that's you can get a smoother turn. There's less pressure on the tool, and all those good things. But I encourage my new turners to turn at a speed that they're comfortable with. If it's flying and you're not comfortable, turn it down a bit. I find that because I have turned with students basically my whole turning career, I tend to turn a little slower than a number of the fellows that I turn with. So that's, to me, it's not a problem, but it's just something I'm used to. I could just force it on and then it would be good, but not my style. That's perfect. Yeah, it's just a little easier to turn going this way for me, the right-handed way. But like I said, I think it's important to be able to turn both ways. So that's what I'm looking for. That actually looks pretty good. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of a notch in here. This tool is a little big for that, so we're not going to use it. We're going to That looks pretty good to me. I need to blend this a little better. Okay, I actually think we're ready to sand this thing up. Yeah, this thing does not drag well when it's dusty and dirty like it is. I should clean it up for this afternoon, but I don't think I'm going to get there. I've got lots on the go today, so Okay, here we go. And I need to get dust collection hooked up to this lathe yet. I'm not even sure how to do that. And I really need to finish. So last week when my Tuesday group was here, uh, we're doing, there are 4 students in that group, and 2 of them are doing electric guitars. One's doing a Stratocaster copy, and the other one's doing a Telecaster copy, so that's kind of neat. But my other 2, they're doing longboards. So they spent last Tuesday, or was it even the Tuesday before, sawing veneer. Well, it got, not proud of this, but it got so dusty in here that the smoke detector was chirping. So, yeah, I need to finish my dust collection. That's a priority. It has to be a priority. But I hadn't quite figured out how I was going to do the run to the lathe. Okay, well, this is 180 grit paper, so I actually think this is going to be good enough. I'm kind of happy with that. But I think this wood kind of matches the part that I'm making. It's at least it's the closest that I have. So I'm not sure what their plan is for this chair. They didn't say a lot. Like I said, it's probably around 100 years old. I would guess, maybe. I don't know. Not a furniture expert. Um, but there we go. Okay, we're gonna just get this right here. Right on the money. Okay, but so I'll just get it repaired, and then they can do with it what they like. And I'm not going to worry too much about taking this off on the lathe. Like, I mean, I can take my little saw and cut it there. That's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so let's take the little saw here. It doesn't cut the best. This blade's probably old too, but not a big deal. Come on. And then when you're in a hurry, and of course when you've got the camera rolling, then nothing goes quite like it should. But this will work. There we go. Now, oops, drop that through. Want that. All right. Now, this one, the one I'm turning here, has quite a flat spot on it, like on both sides. This one is not round. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my edge sander, and sand a flat spot on both sides and make it look like this one. All right, that'll be the next place we film. All right, this isn't the safest way to do this. My fingers are going to be a little close here. Probably would be better if I had a small parallel clamp for this end especially. But I think I'm going to be very careful and I will get this done. So I want to sand on this side and then 180 degrees over roughly, and then this side. So I am going to be very, very careful. I think that's going to be good enough. I'll just hand sand it lightly to take the sharp edges off of it. Yeah, the dust collection from here isn't hooked up yet either. So, but anyway, that's we're on to the final phases here. Well, everybody, there it is. Okay, it was a little different than when I set out to do things here, so I had to make a couple of changes. Not so much in the technique and stuff that I used, that was pretty much standard. Basically, what had happened is they were missing two. Anyway, I forget. But it turns out that they had a flat one and a round one occupying the same level of the chair. I don't know if you can see that. I have two flat ones here now, like I think it should be. And then the round one's up here. But this round one was too long to fit at the length it was. So I ended up shortening it almost an inch to come into this section here. I ended up pulling the nails that were holding the joints together and disassembling the front part, and then making the top ones about an inch shorter and then putting it all back together. So that I'm quite happy with it. There's potentially a lot more work on this chair that could be done, but again, I wasn't given that mandate and I don't know what their intentions are with it. So I tried to match, and not too bad, I tried to match the wood. I came close, but close only counts in a couple things in life. But it's, I think, close enough that with the proper stain, if they decide to go that route, maybe they're going to strip the whole chair and redo it. I don't know. Maybe they're just going to use it. That could well be. So all the joints are now glued together and clamped, and this is going to be solid from now on. So with that in mind, you know, with a lathe you can fix a lot of stuff. In fact, I have a metal lathe project now. My neighbor dropped off an ATV axle that broke. So I've never spliced, welded and turned down an axle before, but I'm going to. And we're going to have some fun with that. So anyway, that brings the weekly edition for this week to an end. Remember, Frosty, we're getting closer. We're almost at, last I checked, we are about almost 460 subscribers, so 500 is the magic number. And I'd sure like to send him to one of you that have faithfully tuned in and watched. I've appreciated that. So anyway, yeah, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you on the weekend edition. So hang in there till the weekend. It's coming.